1811 4000। यही कंज्यूमर हेल्पलाइन।
Everybody uses credit cards. They made life easy for sure, but then there's a catch to them also. Reports on frauds are on the rise, but then is anybody really listening? Ignorance might be bliss sometimes, but then when it comes to your credit card, it doesn't really help at all. Are credit cards making you lose more than they're actually making you gain? We find that out now.
You would get a credit card in almost everyone's purse today. Without credit, after all, most of us would never be able to afford houses, cars, big television sets, or even college education. However, with the increasing number of card users, credit card frauds are also growing by the day. Of late, a few incidences of fraudulent buying of e-tickets with the help of stolen cards have also been reported. And it seems that the effort of banks and other agencies to curb these frauds are falling short of the requirement. Take the number of cases. There were 6,015 credit card frauds in 2004. Next year, the Reserve Bank of India received complaints of about nearly 8,800 cases. In 2006, the number of credit card frauds has gone up to more than 17,000 cases. The monetary loss is also going up. While in 2004, the total loss reported to RBI stood at 11.5 crore rupees. In 2005, it rose to 18 crore rupees. In 2006, the credit card frauds involved a loss of 30 crore rupees. However, industry insiders estimate that the amount of actual fraud was many times more than the number of complaints received.
No, this is what I'm saying. This is an expert job. It's not a job for you and me to decide what the security feature should be. The point I'm making is we must put experts on the job to devise security features and keep changing them from time to time so that if they are copied, they will not last long.
The blame, to a long extent, goes also to the card user. Most credit card users don't know the significance of various numbers provided by the banks, especially the number printed on the back side of the card, which is used for internet transactions. Those who are looking for misusing others' credit cards exploit this ignorance of card users. The question is, shouldn't banks provide these numbers to the customers in a safe and secure manner instead of putting it on the card? The consumers too need to be vigilant so that nobody can get hold of the critical information related to their cards. The major responsibility of curbing these frauds, however, still lies with the government, banks and RBI.
The number of credit card users in the country is growing at a fast pace. So there is a need now for the banks, the government and the RBI to come together and take steps to curb credit card frauds. Santosh Tiwari for Headlines Today in Delhi.
So who is going to curb those credit card frauds that we have been seeing? Well, to discuss that, we've got somebody very special right here with us in our Delhi studios. We've got Professor Sriram Khanna, who's the principal investigator with the National Consumer Helpline. Welcome to the studios, Professor. And also joining us from Mumbai, well, we've got Mr. Sachin Khandelwal, who's the head with the credit cards division of the ICICI Bank. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us in the studio. Professor, let me just begin with you. Vigilance on the part of the consumer, vigilance on the part of the bank.
Both have to be vigilant, but the consumer is an individual. He is an individual, he is a non-expert, he is not a security person who knows all those things. It is the responsibility of the bank, the fiduciary responsibility of the banker to have enough security features built into his delivery system of managing credit cards and enough guidance to consumers how to safeguard themselves. But I'm afraid leading banks are not spending enough money on security.
So why do you see that happening? Why aren't they doing it?
Because they can make more profits by not doing so.
So at the end of the day, it's all about money.
It's all about money, and they want to stick the losses to the consumer. It's your fault. You didn't do this. You didn't tell us on time.
How convenient is that?
So that and the poor guy can't fight back because here is the monolith. Hundreds of crores of rupees of turnover and black-tied lawyers trying to defend him. And this individual who has lost money, a few thousand rupees. How long is he going to fight? So, it's an uneven fight. Banks are not doing enough and they are actually giving consumers short end of the stick.
short end of the stick is what the consumers are getting. That's according to what Professor Sriram Khanna believes. Now, Mr. Khandelwal, what would your response be to what Professor Khanna is saying here?
Well, there are two sides to a coin, and one really needs to see, finally, I mean, if you're driving a car and there's something ahead of you, you have to brake. Okay, the car manufacturer can provide a brake, but it's you have to brake. Coming back to cards, there's enough precautions and checks that have been put by banks.
And what are these precautions and checks that you're talking about?
Customers really need to, check. Well, there's a lot of things. Banks like us, at least, we've done quite a few things. As far as online, banking frauds are concerned, there are ways to curb it and control it. We advise customers to have a separate card for online, which is never ever given to anybody. So there's no way that anybody can, have access to that card. Know your CVV2 number, which is in the back, without which you can't do an online transaction. Further, we also provide another feature like, having a curtailed limit. Even if you have a 100,000 rupee limit on that card, our advice is to, keep only a 5,000 rupee transaction limit. Anytime you want to do a larger transaction, you can do a phone verification.
Right.
That can be done. Then in terms of security features, we've got, with both Visa and Master, all the associations, there's enough security built in. There's features like 3D Secure, MasterCard Secure, verified by Visa.
All right, from the looks of it, Mr. Khandelwal, it seems there are a lot of checks and balances in place. We'll get to the details of that in just a moment. And like you said, there are always two sides to the argument. Now, which argument is fairer? We discuss that in just a moment. Keep watching Mind Your Cards. Well, all of us use credit cards, and in fact, all the more so now. Now, some of us have gotten cheated also, and the statistics for them are on the rise, just like our story will tell you right away. Now, opinion remains divided over who the responsibility really rests with. Is the onus on the banks or on the customers? Find out more.
With the number of credit card frauds doubling every year, the banking fraternity has something to worry about. Usually banks blame the customers for credit card related losses, while the customers accuse the banks for not having foolproof methods of security. And the cat and mouse game goes on. Bankers feel that with the growing base of credit card users, the quality of customers has gone down. So it's tough to keep a tab on them. Customers need to be aware of the Know Your Client norms and be careful about where and how they're using their cards, and this can prevent various cases of frauds.
Main thing starts only from the mobilization of the card. If the proper checkings are being done, proper verifications are done, proper documents are taken, whether with respect to the income tax returns, PAN number, address proof, all such things are being taken care of at the initial stages. Then many of the frauds can be totally saved out.
However, bankers also need to be careful about the merchants who are authorized to swipe credits or debit cards. Very often the merchants do not verify the details, do not check photographs or signatures, and are conned into fraud cases. So banks should take extra responsibility of ensuring the quality of merchants and proper training. Some banks have initiated training programs. They are also sending leaflets about do's and don'ts of credit card usage along with monthly bills. Customers need to follow these instructions. If they don't, the blame game will continue. Crime rates will keep soaring, and next time the finance minister will quote a higher number. With Tripti in Mumbai, Tripti Jain, Headlines Today.
Well, Mr. Khandelwal, I was having a bit of a chat here with Professor Khanna, and the point that he's raising here is, compared to globally, the crime rate really is high in India because of the fact that you do not have photographs, you do not have a PIN number in place. How would you explain that kind of a scenario?
Well, PIN numbers have been implemented in Europe and a whole lot of other markets, but the overall loss or the fraud rates more or less remain the same, and PINs will actually be coming into India over a period of time now. Chip-based cards are going to come in.
So why aren't they already here would be the obvious question then.
The consumer, Well, why aren't they? It's going to take time. Even now, it's just slowly going in. It's still not there in a whole lot of other developed markets also.
All right.
And see, it's just not that easy.
It's not an easy process is what Mr. Khandelwal has to say. Now, how would you respond?
If a bank claiming to be a private sector leader says, we are just not able to put our act together to make a security feature that is available off the shelf, like a PIN
Are you saying that is something very basic that should be there right at the outset?
If a bank like the ICICI Bank or other similar banks are serious about preventing fraud and protecting their customers, then they have to have the PIN feature in. That's one. Secondly, does it take a lot of technology for top-line banks to put a photograph on the credit card? Well, even the simplest things that are supposed to be done are not being done. It's because some managers of credit card divisions of banks can always pin their losses on the consumer and make profits out of that.
All right.
If that is the attitude, then I'm sorry to say, people are not discharging their responsibility to protect consumers.
All right, we've got two sides of the argument, just like Mr. Khandelwal had promised us. Mr. Khandelwal going all out, in fact, for the credit card, saying that security is in place, you have checks and balances in place. Professor Khanna, of course, raising doubts about why the fact that something as basic as a PIN number and also photographs do not feature on Indian credit cards. Well, the debate continues on the other side. Keep watching Mind Your Card. Welcome back. You're watching Mind Your Cards. Now, World Cup cricket is, of course, a tempting event, but then it might not be good for your online forays. Hackers step up their search around this time for your email password, credit card, and also bank account details.
World Cup cricket may bring bad news to you, not because India may not do as well as you expect, but there is always an increase in online frauds while such mega sports events are on. That means your purse would be at risk. These are no longer simple cases of kids hacking for instant fame. Online fraudsters are now using multiple methods including email, web, instant messaging to get hold of your passwords, credit card and bank account details. Techies call it phishing, when fraudsters create sites with the same name of a famous company or act as a trustworthy person or business with a real need for information. What's more, traditional defense mechanisms like antivirus packages or firewalls don't work in these cases. The arrival of spyware, keystroke loggers and remotely controlled PCs means that every PC user is at risk. You're at risk even if you're using a cell phone. Last year, some mobile phone users had received an SMS thanking them for subscribing to a fictitious dating service. The message said that a subscription fee of $2 per day would be automatically charged to their cell phone bills until their subscription was cancelled at the online site. Users visiting the site to unsubscribe from the service ended up as victims of phishing attack. So what can you do to avoid such attacks? Here are some basic rules. Do not open mails from people you do not know. Do not click on links you're not sure of. If you need to check out scores or latest news on the World Cup, always use the known sites. You should also check whether the sites you're visiting are secured or unsecured. Your Internet Explorer or Netscape would tell you this. There are also anti-phishing tools, antivirus, firewalls and anti-spywares available on the net. Install the latest versions of these software on your PC. If you don't, you might be batting on a very rough pitch. Business Bureau, headlines today.
So the fraudsters never let go of any kind of opportunity, do they? Well, Mr. Khandelwal, coming back to you, this whole aspect of phishing really coming up. Do you get a lot of reports of how phishing is really affecting your kind of business?
The fact is, phishing is a kind of a problem across the internet route. Primarily what needs to be done is whatever the precautions that banks advise, that's what customers need to put. Even on the bank side, they need to put adequate cautions and checks. There are times there are certain sites or certain merchants or certain airlines bookings from where you don't get too many good transactions, there are chargebacks or there are too many cases of frauds. So you need to make sure that those kind of transactions are stopped. Customers from their side need to be sure, any internet payment that they use needs to be through a secured site only.
Right.
And like I said, there are specific online cards, you use only your online cards, so that helps in staying away from all these issues.
Professor, how do you think this kind of menace really could be curbed? What kind of the steps really should be put in place to ensure?
I think India is a growing market and consumers have to be educated. And very little time is spent by the banks and credit card companies. in educating consumers. They only want to make money. They want it now and they want to show on their balance sheet. But the effort that it takes to educate consumers to understand how to save themselves and save the banks. Because actually the banks are the service givers and consumers are putting their faith in the banks. And by virtue of this association, if they get hurt, the bank has a direct responsibility. But in many cases the banks don't own up. Instead, they try to pass the blame and make
Professor,
consumers
you
pay.
keep saying that it's the responsibility of the banks. At the end of the day, the consumer also has to be vigilant about the kind of product that he's actually using.
Agreed, but he has to be educated. For example, when you issue a new credit card, why doesn't the bank make sure that he puts in a transaction limit at the very beginning?
All right. Mr. Khandelwal, any kind of training that the banks are now looking at imparting to your employees really to ensure that your consumers are not hurt by these kind of frauds?
Yeah, see, we do try and do that. The bank site and the application form and the kit that you get advises customers what needs to be done. And even otherwise, after he's done one transaction, when customer calls up a call center and has a query, we are trying to advise customers as to what kind of precautions to take care of. For instance, you can create a limit within your card and not use the card beyond that limit so that it's curtailed. Then you put a check from your side. Anytime you say there's a transaction of more than 5,000 rupees, you put a question which you can answer, so that verification will be done. So customers will need to continuously get in touch with their banks, find out what is it, if they have any doubt on any transactions or anything about their billing. So the customer service centers are there, and they can actually advise customers on what precautionary steps to be taken. Like I was
right,
mentioning
Mr.
earlier.
Khandelwal, I'm afraid we'll just have to let it go there. Professor Khanna, just very briefly, how much would you give the banks out of 5 on the kind of service that they provide to the consumers?
I'd rather go 4 out of 10.
All right, so you've increased
Just
that.
pass.
Just pass. Just about getting there.
On the margin.
All right, lovely talking to you as well. Thank you so much, Mr. Khandelwal, and also Professor Khanna for being a part of this show. Well, at the end of the day, what you just need to do is just be very careful about the kind of card that you're using. You need to be conscious about the fact that there's a CVV number behind your card. There's also lots of elements that go into it. At the end of the day, the consumer has to be responsible. Also, the banks perhaps should be stepping in at this point in time and saying that we are putting out the very best for our consumers. Well, with that, we need to wrap up this show. Thank you so much for having tuned in.